In the real world, the succession plan is approved by the sport you're in. Baseball has a succession plan in the event of catastrophic illness or incapacitation of a control person. Who's next? You have to have it. The NFL has had multiple issues with this, and I don't know why, since they require succession plans too. Think about the Indianapolis Colts with Jim Irsay dropping dead at 65. Three kids took over, one CEO, one of them was running up and down the sideline. Remember, like calling plays and listening to the earphones? You may remember that. Another kid is working on the community side, on the business side. There's a plan. Jerry Buss, Lakers, dead. Who's taking over? Is it Jeannie Buss? What about the son? They're fighting. Then they stopped fighting. Did they ever stop fighting? God, the examples go on and on of fights that take place. You had the Bolin family fighting. It turns out that when you're not clear with your kids, issues can happen. With the Houston Texans, do you remember the name Robert McNair? Robert McNair was the founder of the Texans, and he died. And then his sons are Kerry and Cal McNair. And you would think that there would be a simple plan, chain of command. Cal, you've got it. When George Steinbrenner died, it wasn't even simple. You know the name Hal Steinbrenner. Do you remember the name Hank Steinbrenner? Well, Hank was going to be in charge. Hal was going to be in charge. And they had a fight. And now it's just Hal, not Hank. This just happens everywhere. The McNair family is merely the latest example of the sloppiness and what happens behind the scenes in powerful families. There was just a story released yesterday that I read about Fox, Rupert Murdoch. That may have been the original point of succession in the Roy family. They're trying to get things settled. But this McNair fight has one little wrinkle in it that the leagues really don't want. You see, there's an attorney who's made a famous name for himself by suing people left, right, and center, Tony Buzbee. Forget whether you think attorneys belong at the bottom of the ocean, whether you are a Shakespeare devotee. Tony Buzbee is a member in good standing of the bar. He sent a letter on September 8th to the NFL yesterday requesting mediation by Roger Goodell on behalf of someone named Kerry McNair. Kerry McNair may be a name you don't recognize, but Kerry McNair is the brother of Cal McNair. Robert named his kids Kerry and Cal. The 21 other sons, I don't know what they were named. But Kerry and Cal had a plan. The plan was Cal's running the team. Cal is the control person recognized by the NFL, the governor, if you will. Kerry wanted the job. Kerry's upset. Kerry is now suing his brother Cal, saying, you unfairly made it so I am eunuched, neutered. I have no power. But the thing is, Tony Buzbee upped the ante, and he's not just impugning the behavior of Cal McNair, the brother. He's going after the NFL. He is claiming that the NFL was part of this plot by Cal McNair to freeze out his brother, Kerry McNair. Because Cal McNair actually sent a letter to Kerry McNair way back in early 2024, basically saying, sorry, see you later. You're no longer working for the Texans. And frankly, we don't want you a part of any of our family business. Bye-bye. What Kerry McNair is saying is, that seems unfair, what Cal did to me. But Kerry is also saying that the NFL colluded with Cal in order to harm Kerry. The NFL worked with Cal McNair to make sure Kerry McNair was put out of a job, was put out of even thinking about becoming the control person. Tony Buzbee is making it clear as the lawyer for Kerry McNair that he wants to know what the NFL's involvement was in working with Cal McNair to the detriment of Kerry McNair, and whether or not that was legal or whether that was tortious interference with the contractual relationship. Does this story sound familiar to you at all? Does this story remind you of the Seidler family with the San Diego Padres? Peter Seidler dies. Now the brothers and the ex-wife are fighting over who should be in control of the Padres, and the ex-wife lost. This is happening so often now because sports is big business. Now it happens in families where it's not a big business, where it's two brothers who own something. One of the brothers dies. The other brother doesn't want to work with the son of the dead brother, so they do a lawsuit. They figure out who owns what. They do a buyout. Hey, split $15. See you later. When you are in billion-dollar businesses, people do not tend to walk away from what they think is theirs or what they think they were entitled to based on blood. When you believe that you've got a piece of a company, that all of a sudden you lose your piece because of the action of someone else, it doesn't matter that it's your brother. I've seen friends, God, I've got friends whose the lawsuits within their families, the siblings who sue each other over the estate of their parents, common. I've seen it up close and personal, and it's ugly, it's bad, and it's all done because the people who die are unwilling to have the conversations with the heirs while they're alive. They say, oh, we got a will. You'll read the will when I croak. I'm not going to answer any questions. I'll be 10 feet under. What do I care? I'll be 10 feet over. What do I care? It doesn't matter. The fact is, if you want to avoid any litigation, if you want to avoid the problems that are now happening in the NFL, it requires communication. That's it. And the communication in this case was not done properly, and now you've got the McNair brothers going after each other, and the NFL is stuck having to answer to whether or not it supported its control person, which, side note, wink, wink, you're god dang right they did. That's what the leagues do. If you are the control person or the governor for a team that's in a league, you're going to get supported as long as you're not racist, as long as you don't circumvent the salary cap, as long as you play by the rules and you vote on the right side of the issues, you will have the support of the league like it's your best buddy. And the minute you cross them, you've been Heisman'd. Leagues aren't stupid. Commissioners aren't stupid. They didn't get to where they are, the position they're in, by not understanding what levers of negotiation to pull, about what levers to pull as it relates to their owners, the people who they supposedly work for. Believe me, commissioners keep track. Carrie McNair has zero chance to prevail over Cal McNair, not because it's arbitration or mediation with Roger Goodell, whether this goes to court the way the Gruden situation could, the way the Brian Flores situation could. The reality is that the NFL supporting its governor, its control person, that's as ordinary as a Tuesday following a Monday.